Welcome, everybody. We are live, and this is me, your host, Leanne Johnston, and you'll see there's a guest up above me as well. We're really excited to be here with you guys today. I'm going to let him introduce himself in just a second, but we're here with Everflow to discuss the top problems that affiliate managers experience and how to overcome them. Welcome, everybody. Sorry. This is Leanne Johnston. Live, so as you can see, there are always problems. Welcome everybody to this fabulous webinar that we are hosting this month with Everflow. I am going to just get started and make sure that we are actually live streaming and everybody can hear me and only me and not my double voice from 5 seconds ago. So before we begin, let's just tell you a little bit about how this webinar is going to work. We are live streaming on YouTube and through our LinkedIn channel as well. So if you want to ask questions, please feel free to do that in the chat, but you're going to have to head over to our YouTube channel because that is where I'm watching all of you. So we want to make this as interactive as possible. We definitely want to be answering questions because we know that you're here to learn, and we want to be able to share our insights with you and show some of the ways that we can help you overcome some of the problems that we've uncovered, and just make sure that you're getting the support that you need in this webinar today. So set aside your phone, set aside your emails, come and sit and watch with us. If you're on LinkedIn, head over to our YouTube channel on Afterverse, and you will be able to ask questions in the chat there. So if this is the first time that you've joined us, we are live streaming. So as you saw, there was a little bit of a issue 5 minutes ago where you could hear me twice. But if you lose us, you can just refresh your browser, and replays of the webinar are also available. And there will be some freebies at the end, which Michael will tell you about. So do stay on. The other thing is you can hit subscribe on our Afterverse channel to not miss another webinar again. And you can also watch us on our LinkedIn channel too. So a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. Let's welcome everybody in. I saw just a few seconds ago we had about 11 people waiting to come in with us. Now we are a little bit ahead of you, so if you are watching us, head over to the YouTube channel where you will be able to ask questions live. Just remember that we're about 60 seconds ahead of you because we are live streaming. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of what we're talking about and introduce our guests. So we're talking about overcoming technical and managerial challenges that most affiliate program managers face when they're running and scaling an affiliate program. And so today we're going to be talking everything automation and tracking that's related to that. So how do we make your lives easier? How do you set up your programs, and how do you use technologies that are available, such as Everflow, to actually automate these processes and make your lives a little bit easier? So we're going to be talking about how to level up your playing field, what tech levers to pull for better ROI within your program, how to grow your affiliate program and leverage tools like Everflow, and everything else in between. So let's get started. I'm super happy to have you here. If you are joining us, give us a thumbs up in the YouTube channel just so that I know that you can hear us and see us. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, what industry you're working in, and what your current struggles are, because we definitely want to be using this webinar to answer those questions and give you some solutions to some of these problems. So head on over to the YouTube channel if you want to ask us questions. If you're watching on LinkedIn Live, we welcome you there too, but you just won't be able to ask us questions live. So let's begin a little bit. I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. I'm Leanne Johnston. I'm the founder of Afterverse. We have a really successful affiliate marketing podcast that reaches, I think, 350,000 people around the world now, who are interested in affiliate and performance marketing. I'm a teacher, trainer, speaker, thought leader. I don't really believe in titles, but I am passionate about affiliate marketing. And if you want to be as passionate about affiliate marketing as I am, you'll come and join us. But we're not here to talk about us today. We're here to talk about Michael and Everflow, who are generously coming on board to tell you a little bit about some of the key problems that affiliate managers can solve. So I'm going to skip that slide because you don't really need to know more about me. You can go find out about me on my website. But over to my lovely guest who's been very patient and waited 7 minutes to be introduced. Say hello to Michael. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Cole. I'm the head of marketing at Everflow. A bit about my background. So I'm to be honest, I'm a bit of an amateur, and I've only been in the affiliate marketing industry for 16 years. So apologies. I got my start in an affiliate management agency back in the day. And before I joined Everflow, I was actually a customer of Everflow, and now I've been at Everflow for 6 years, which by American tech standards is an unbelievably long time in a company. And so it's still weird that that's even possible. And I am based in
an amateur, just by the way. I mean, I've only been in the industry 20 years, and I think it's only been going for about 25. So it's not, you're definitely going to be sharing some insights and nuggets, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hopefully, I have some knowledge to share. And I am based in Oakland, California.
Perfect. So it's very, very early in the morning, and we appreciate you getting up at Sparrow's Twit to be here with us today. So let's get cracking, because we've got lots of people coming in. We've got Tiro from Finland who's just signed up, and a couple of more people coming in on the live chat. If you are here, just remember to ask questions on the YouTube channel, not on the LinkedIn channel. So head on over to Avaverse, because we definitely want to be interacting with you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and let's get started about what we're talking about today. So Michael and I actually prepped this a little bit before we came on, because we wanted to really get an understanding of what people are currently struggling with, because that changes over time. You know, there's different trends and things that are happening in the partnerships economy. And so I thought we'd start this webinar together by sharing some of the insights that we pulled together from, you know, our audience and our community, and just share what some of the common problems are. And you can stick your hand up in YouTube and tell us if you're experiencing some of these things, because Michael's going to have some solutions to some of these problems. Now, we've got quite a wide-reaching community across the globe, lots of different industries and verticals that we're talking to. So these numbers that we're sharing with you today are really like a mean, an average of what everybody's feeling and thinking in the industry. And I thought we'd start off by just sharing some of the questions that we asked and what the responses were, and what was interesting for us to see how we can help you guys today on this webinar. So what is the biggest challenge that you face in managing affiliate relationships? And the thing that was interesting to me are the two that are highlighted on the screen. I'm just trying to see the one below, but 11.1% was ensuring timely payments. Now, we have had a lot of conversations about payments being very late in the affiliate industry and taking a very long time, which impacts affiliates' abilities to actually reinvest into campaigns and grow their businesses, because the payment periods and the reconciliations that are taking place in programs are so long. I actually can't see the other one that's highlighted there, Michael. So can you maybe just read out the number that we highlighted on the bottom?
Sure. Yeah. So it's 44.4% have misaligned goals.
And misaligned goals is a really big thing, because I've been talking to a lot of affiliate managers in our training programs, and some of them don't know what KPIs they actually need to be measuring for their program. And the tricky part is that no matter, you know, whatever industry you're in, you're going to have different goals and challenges that you are seeking to achieve and overcome. So it's kind of like an open-ended question, but what I really wanted to dig into in the Everflow platform, because it is quite intuitive in this space, is looking at what are some of those goals that you can track. So we'll get back to that in a little while. But if you guys tuning in and listening right now, if you're experiencing some of these problems, give us a high five and a hands up, because we'd like to know if this is resonating with you guys in the industries that you're working in too. And it would be great to know what industries you are in. So that was quite interesting to me, the first question that we asked. But let's get on to the next one. So which aspect of affiliate recruitment do you find most difficult? And interestingly to me, I thought that it would be identifying suitable affiliates to go and work with, but it seemed to be an even split, which was quite interesting to me. So we're going to go through a little bit of some of the onboarding processes that are interesting, and how you can really leverage your tech to give really great affiliate experiences, because I think that we sometimes forget that affiliates are also our customers. And I hope that Michael's going to go through some of the cool things that Everflow can do to help you with onboarding affiliates and giving them really great experiences as a first touch point. Next question. So what is the primary obstacle in optimizing affiliate campaigns? So Michael, maybe you can read out these two.
Yeah. So 11% said lack of data insights, and 33.3% said time management.
Huge killer for me, I think. Many affiliate managers that I speak to are kind of busy doing the doing, and they don't get time to actually build the relationships. And I think half the time it's because they're not using their technology stack to its full potential. So sometimes you'll come into a business, there's an existing piece of technology, you kind of know how to do the basics and pull your reports, but you don't actually get into the like real nitty-gritty details of what the platform can really do for you. And so hopefully we'll have a look at some of those cool things today that can help you with time management. Interestingly enough, you know, budget constraints were also there, but also affiliate engagement. And I think, you know, you can leverage your tools to actually create great promotions and things as well. And I know Everflow is quite intuitive in that space too. So the thing that interested me most, though, about this question, and I don't know how you feel about this, Michael, is the lack of data insight. So that was really surprising to me, because I always think that there's an overload of information taking place in the affiliate industry, and it almost becomes impossible to understand how to splice and dice the data to get the insights that you need. So another area where Everflow is actually quite intuitive is, pulling together data and insights and key performance metrics that will help you to actually make the decisions that you need to make with the partners that you're working with. So is anybody else feeling some of these things? We've got quite a lot of people here on the chat, but head on over to the YouTube channel if you want to agree or disagree with some of these questions, because we'd love to know if it is actually reading as a good medium of where the state of the industry is at.
Yeah, I'd love to say something on
Yeah.
the data insights. It's I think we find that to be true all the time, which is just data sounds good until you realize that too much data is very overwhelming. So the fact that most people are not actually saying that that's their biggest need is very common, because at the end of the day, value means nothing. But if you go back to the first one about wanting alignment with your partners, if the data lets you pay your partners more and align your revenue with the partner, like the affiliate's revenue, then suddenly it becomes really valuable. So I think data insights ends up being a little bit too abstract, and
Yeah.
it has to be the right insights at the right time that align the right partners and make it easier for you.
Yeah, to make those decisions. And also the thing is that those decisions might change over time due to seasonal functionality, any of those things that are impacting your specific niche or vertical that you're working in. So, every industry works differently as well. So it's quite a good point, actually. The next question that we had, which we pulled out of the data segment, and there was about 200 people that answered this survey, if I remember correctly. So quite a good segment of the global populace of affiliate program managers that are out there. The next question that we had here was, how often do you encounter issues with affiliate fraud? And I mean, this just rocked my world. 66.7% of people said that they're occasionally encountering affiliate fraud, which doesn't really surprise me, but it does mean that we need to be looking at ways that we can counteract that, and actually ways that we can spot it a little bit more quickly, because unfortunately in this industry, fraud is, even in the advertising industry, fraud is, it's there. There's loopholes. People are going to find ways to do it. But what we need to do is get to a point where we can actually spot those signs early on and actually look at how do we take that data that we've got at our fingertips and use it to preempt things from happening. So this one wasn't really such a shocker, but the bigger number in terms of everybody agreeing with it was quite, insightful, I thought. The next question that we had here, which is kind of the last question that we pulled out to kind of format the structure of how we wanted to do this webinar, is what is your main challenge in keeping affiliates motivated? And Michael, maybe you can take this one.
Yeah, so 67% said it involves offering competitive commissions. 22% said creating engaging promotional materials, and 11% said providing timely support.
Yeah. So for me, this was quite important, because I think a lot of people are still relying on old commission models. So CPA, revenue share, or a mix of CPA and revenue share, or some companies are working on cost per lead or cost per install. But it seems to be that we're still creating a one-size-fits-all solution for every affiliate type that comes into our affiliate program. And to me, a savvy affiliate marketer or a savvy affiliate manager is looking at how they can leverage their budget to get more ROI. So that technically means that the engine that you're using for your affiliate program has to be sustainable and also manipulatable, if that's a word, to accommodate all the different types of affiliates that are now coming into this partnership economy that we are working with. And you touched on a point earlier about segmentation being very important in an affiliate program. And this is where commissions come in, to tie into that, allowing you to be able to work with lots of different types of partners in a way that suits them. So not in a way that says, come and work with us, we want to work with you, but we're only going to pay you CPA or revenue share. How do you actually structure your commissions for all the different partner types that you want to be attracting into this performance program that you're managing? And at this point, this is where I actually want to hand over to Michael, because my job here was to gather all of this information and invite him on to answer all of these questions and problems, and to pull all the information from our community out to see where the common problems lie. But I'm going to hand over to Michael now, because we'll dive into how Everflow can actually help solve some of these key issues, and we just summarize them here. So we had tracking and finding and discovering what the right goals are for you to be measuring and monitoring in your affiliate program. We spoke about the fact that onboarding affiliates needs to be done with ease, and also, with a great user first touch experience to actually treat those partners like customers almost. We talked about reducing tedious tasks, about data for making proper decisions, and fraud detection and commission modeling and payments. So I'm going to hand over to Michael now, who's going to share his screen. And hopefully our tech team is going to help him do that. So there we are. We're now logged into Everflow, and I'm going to hand the reins over to Michael while I check who's here and who's got questions. So if you've got questions, just a quick reminder, head on over to the YouTube channel, and I'll pick them up and pose them to Michael as we're going along. So Michael, I'm handing you the reins. Thank you for being here.
Great. It's great to be here. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to talk through a lot of this stuff. I think it all kind of boils down, like most of the things that were mentioned are all connected to the same, as Leanne said, like the idea of paying on the sale or lead not being enough. Realistically, that is the best starting place, because hey, this is close enough, like where the affiliate's delivering value and you can pay them out. But we've been actually seeing, like with the more like sophisticated like agency run campaigns, that they continue to move down funnel. So especially on like a lead campaign, it's easier to understand. So if the lead gets a person in the door, if you start paying on the approved lead, you're closer to what makes you revenue, makes your client revenue, and then you're also paying the affiliate more because you know the exact revenue. If there's anything that happens after the lead is approved, like there's a stage of paying, if you pay the affiliate on that, there's even more alignment there. So the better quality your affiliates, the lower in the funnel towards like the actual money, true money you're making, the more you pay them out there, the more you can sort of like motivate your best affiliates, get everyone aligned, etc., and be successful. So I'm going to be walking through sort of like, how does that actually happen? How do you use these data insights to sort of like actually pay your affiliates more in a way where your boss or your client is going to be super happy?
Yeah.
Cool. So just to introduce Everflow for anyone who doesn't know. So Everflow is a partner marketing platform. We allow you to manage any type of partner. So that's anything from your traditional affiliates and influencers. You can even take in things like strategic partners, agency partners, any sort of like secondary relationships you have. You can even track referral partners or ambassadors. And at least for us internally at Everflow, like that's how we grow, is really like happy customers, signing them up as referral partners, having those referral partners send like potential prospects to us that become customers. Like that is like the best feedback loop for our own business. So this idea of people that understand your product best being great partners for your affiliate program is something that I think there's a huge amount of untapped opportunity for. So that's the partnership side. What Everflow also allows you to do is track everything else. So you can track your organic traffic, your paid media, etc. And the real benefit is when everything's in the same place, you got to understand how, like what's really delivering value, where is it delivering value, how is it delivering value, and you have the ability to have control over attribution. And what I mean by that is being able to protect the sources that need protecting. So that's top of funnel sources like content websites, influencers, anyone who is introducing your brand for the first time, where people don't really know about your product. Usually when someone comes to your website for the first time, they've never heard about you before, they're not really ready to buy. So this ability to basically give them a protected window of say like 30 days, where even if that person comes back through a paid ad and they come back through a coupon website, the influencer gets credit in that situation. It is the healthiest way to sort of scale your program, because like new people discovering your brand for the first time is so valuable, but it takes time for those people to become customers, and you want to make sure that they actually get credit versus all your other channels. So having everything in the same place like lets you have that full lens into like what's delivering value, and be able to sort of break through one of the biggest challenges that I saw in affiliate management, which is just basically overcoming the silos, either with like the clients I manage or like internally at companies, where it's not like, is affiliate delivering any value versus everything else, but it's more like, hey, everything delivers value. here's the story of how it delivers value, and here is why we want more of, say, these content websites or influencers. Like when you have that full story, it becomes really powerful.
It's
Yeah.
because it's like the narrative sometimes gets lost, right? Because everybody's in their own silo. So paid, social, SEO, PPC, and then everybody else, and the lines are blurring between all of these channels. So you do need to have that visibility of where is the new customers, the new valuable customers coming in, and what is that touch point or attribution journey that they're having. And I think when you have that data all together in one platform, you can make more intelligent choices about where you spend your money and at what time and in what place and in what kind of like contribution, like which, is it more, because a lot of affiliate managers I speak to are still heavily invested in SEO affiliates and they're not really looking anywhere else. And so it'll be interesting to see how this tool can actually help you look at that story and then create the tracking goals and the KPIs that you feel are relevant for your business, because there is no one size fits all story. If you're an e-commerce brand, you should be looking at this. If you're a iGaming brand, you should be looking at this. So you really do have to take the data and then make your own intelligent choices about what you're doing. So let's see how that works here.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be talking a bunch about events today because I think that that's the other piece that is missing in a lot of setups, is just looking at not just the performance metric of the seller lead. Like don't get me wrong, that's important. That's what you pay out on a lot of the time. But looking at everything that happens before and after, and having that data tied to your affiliates or partners really is enormously valuable. And I find that especially with like partner marketing and like agencies and stuff, like the other piece about like having all this extra data is just like sometimes you have a week with affiliate marketing where nothing grows.
Yeah.
And you have to do your weekly client call, or you need to talk to your boss, and like having something that you can sort of deep dive once a week and have a cool, interesting insight towards someone who is really outperforming on the engagement side really helps like always have something exciting to share.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to partners. So the one thing to keep in mind with partners in Everflow is just partners is anything you want to track. So that can be your internal channels, your paid ad channels, your affiliates, your organic traffic, your influencers. Anything can be tracked in here, which means that you're seeing with the same lens, the same performance lens towards all channels, which really helps highlight the affiliates that add a ton of value on top of what's already your standard channels outside of affiliate. And one thing that's really cool about Everflow that I find enormously helpful is that you can set up a partner in like 10 seconds. So if I want to send up influencer B, I can just set them up. I can just go through. I can even create them an account so that they can log in and see their performance.
Yeah.
And I can just send, here's your tracking link, go at it. And this is super important for like influencers or any of these like non-traditional affiliates, because if you have a contract in place, that can just kill the relationship right there. They have to think about it. They're like, oh, I don't know. But if you could be like, here's your tracking link, and I'll let you know when you're at make over $500, so you actually like log in, or I email you that detail. Like you can actually have your terms and conditions after the fact. So you start tracking them, they start making commissions, then you say, hey, please log into the platform, and they agree to their terms and conditions there. So the faster you can sort of like cut out friction for these like non-traditional affiliates, the more you can start seeing success first. And when there's money at the table, it's much easier to get them to review a contract.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the other one with this is obviously like there's going to be some interesting partners that are like larger companies and stuff promoting you, and they do not care about commissions, and you need a way to track them without having a third-party contract in place.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's partners. I'm going to go look at a single offer to sort of talk about those events so you get an idea of what I'm talking about here. So I'm looking at a cost per lead offer here. And this is where we sort of see like how complex you can make a program. And like, again, the thing to keep in mind here is like the reason the complexity is valuable is one, getting to see a bigger picture than just performance, because you'll understand that some affiliates and influencers are much better than you thought because those users aren't ready to buy, but they are engaging directly with your website. They're excited about it. And the second thing is you can move your best partners and best affiliates towards like later stage events where you pay them a lot more at the end, or you can do aligned payouts where you pay on multiple things where you're naturally rewarding them for it. So in this cost per lead offer, we have the starting event of free trial setup where you're paying out $10.
Okay.
And then we have integration with the CRMs for HubSpot in this case. So we have a stage of marketing qualified lead. So when HubSpot updates the marketing qualified lead, that will automatically be tracked in Everflow. When it reaches the opportunity stage, that will track in Everflow, and we actually pay out the partner $20 more. And when it reaches the customer stage in HubSpot, we pay out the partner $100 more. So now you have much better alignment of how you're paying out your partner, because if they send a really good lead and that lead is becoming customers, that partner made $130. If they send a bunch of junk leads, those are $10 each. You're not paying as much out. And if none of those are becoming customers, then you're going to let them go anyway, because you easily can see, hey, you sent us 50 leads, none of them even reached the opportunity stage. This is not working out.
Yeah. And often that's the visibility that you don't have in a program. So you wait until the traffic comes in, give it 2 or 3 weeks because, campaigns ramp up, all the rest of it. And you give the benefit of the doubt up front. And then at the end, you've gone like, oh, I've just wasted 3 weeks and I haven't met my targets because I wasn't actually able to see what the value of those customers were at every single event. And that's what we're talking about here. The data points that you want to track within your program wasn't visible in the platform that you're using. We've actually just got a quick question here from Tiro. Do you choose here only trusted partners that you'll send 1000% traffic from, like Facebook, as many affiliates are sending a lot more than what they say they do, messing the stats? So what he's saying is sometimes you sign up an affiliate and they say, yeah, I'm doing paid ads to send you traffic, but you actually find out that they're doing lots of other things as well. Like, is there a way to maybe like segment that traffic, or will it just come in and you'll have to set these parameters to actually show when it's getting to a qualified like state, like when they've made a deposit or a purchase or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, so the best way to solve that is to look at all of your affiliates, not just on like the overall like top like combined affiliate traffic and conversions and revenue, but to
Yeah.
look at it on the placement level. So we have a dimensional analytics report, which I'll show hopefully a little bit later.
Yeah.
That makes it really easy. Just click on the partner and see a breakdown of the performance by each placement. And I mean, the affiliate fraud being occasional is not surprising to me, because it's just you like, if you actually look at your data and you can break it down, it's so obvious what is fraud most of the time or what's suspicious. Like if you
Yeah.
see that this partner is mostly sending you a lot of traffic that drives like 4 sales, and then they have like one placement that sent 8 clicks and 6 of those became like leads or purchases, there's something suspicious about that placement. And you need to have that conversation with the partner about like, hey, what is placement 14? Because either it's a review website, which means it's super good, or it's coupon or incent or something you weren't expecting. So just the easier that you can just do a quick breakdown when you need to figure out what's working, what's not, the better to sort of catch these things. And it's really easy to solve it when you look at the data on a granular level, because it's obvious when there's an outlier.
But
And you
you
can
need
also set up, yeah, go ahead.
you need to be able to track those events though. Like you need to be able to allow the affiliate to set up different traffic sources within your platform. So some platforms don't even allow you to do that. They're just give an affiliate a straight link and you've got to assume that everything coming in is what they say they're doing. So it's nice that there's this capability to actually set up the partner into different categories.
Definitely, yeah. So at first I covered sort of like the actual like flow towards becoming a customer. But I highly recommend that affiliate managers start thinking about what else can they look at. So we have some like unpaid, unrevenue events. So there's 0 revenue, no payout at all for things like, did they check out a specific white paper or blog? Did they go to a pricing page? Did they register for webinars? So having more events before the free trial sign up also tells you a big story about like, hey, like who am I undervaluing because they're not driving a ton of like customers today, which
Yeah.
could just mean that they're sending people that are like in the early buying process, and then you've been actually giving credit to another partner that's at the bottom of the funnel, like a coupon website, and you've just been undervaluing these influencers. Like when you see these sort of like engagement events, you get a much better picture about like who's sending traffic that's actually interested in your product, and what can you do to sort of make sure that those people actually are winning credit when the person they sent becomes a customer.
But also tying that information back to your CRM team or your retention or customer success teams, because customers coming in and obviously showing interest but not converting could mean that the offer isn't relevant for them. And you can go back to that influence and say, like, what is the niche audience that you're talking to, and how do we get these people over the line? Is it that the price point is wrong? Is it that you're showing them the enterprise version instead of the kind of like basic version? Are they only doing free play and not converting up? What's the reason for that? Because that information can actually feed back to your marketing department to change the way that you promote your product and service too.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, I'm just working on a case study with Skills and all-inclusive marketing agency, and that was one where they just took over a program that was basically completely stagnant,
Mm.
and all they did was communicate with the affiliates, get them started again, let them know that they had more resources, and they managed to grow the program 11,000% in 3 months.
Wow, that's
Uh,
mad.
1,100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
in 3 months, and literally all they did was just communicate with affiliates and make them say like, "Hey, we're your new management team. We're here to help you," etc. So like, never undercount the value of just like be able to have a reason to communicate your affiliates and tell them something new as a way to get that conversation started. Because affiliates are going to choose whatever is like the thing that's top of mind that they're excited about promoting, and anything you can do to sort of get them to that point actually moves the needle a lot.
Yeah, totally.
And then the final piece is things like what happens after they become a customer. Whether it's I mean, this could be like return purchases, like repeat purchases for e-commerce product, for a lead offer. Like if they get software, did they renew for a year? Did they upgrade to premium plans? Again, the more you can see the true revenue you're getting from this channel, the more you can pay your best partners, and the more your partners can scale. So it really is valuable to have this data, even if you're not actually paying out partners directly on it. You can always set up custom payment terms where you're like, this affiliate is actually fantastic. Let me double their payout.
Michael, we're getting a lot of questions here. Do you mind if I just take a quick break and answer some of the people that are
Sure.
here with us live? Thank you. So from Matthew, oh, hi, Matthew. Nice to see you here. He goes, hey, guys, thanks for your time. With Everflow's new communication hub, are there plans to allow advertisers to initiate relationships with partners rather than just partners applying to programs?
I'm not sure what they mean by that. So we have a full marketplace functionality, and the
Yeah,
marketplace allows you to connect with both partners and advertisers. So
yeah.
not only can you always set up any like advertisers or partners directly in the platform, and it's super quick to give them like platform UI. We do have a marketplace on top of that for additional connections.
Okay, if you need any help, Matthew, you can email Michael Cole. His details are at the end of this webinar. And then another one from Mario. Hi, guys. Mario here from London. From my experience, all affiliate programs I've worked with use their attribution events based on last click. True story. But this is another way of doing it, which is what we're trying to show you here today, is that if you've got a tech stack that can accommodate it, you can actually track many other events instead of just last click. And I think that's where the industry is moving to actually get better data insights and to attribute revenue to the partners that are driving scale. Like, as you just said, like you can have a look at, influencers that are sending customers, but those customers aren't converting. Is it that your offer isn't actually resonating with that particular niche customer? And how do you get deeper into that? And I think what we're finding as well is that a lot of affiliates are moving towards community-based marketing, where they're actually building their own databases of niche pockets of customers that they know the brand isn't targeting direct, and that's how they're finding value. That's how they're extracting value and earning their commissions. So having these event types available to then commission differently is part of the things that we wanted to talk about, is having this intuitive commission engine that can allow you to create different commercial models for different types of actions or events that are happening. So great questions, guys. Matthew says he's going to email you, Michael. So hopefully you can solve that question. But thanks for the questions. We love having them. I'm going to let you carry on with some of the other things that we were going to show.
Yeah, and on the attribution side, like my general recommendation there to think about it is that anything that's top of funnel, so again, content influencer, those ones especially need to be first touch attribution, where it doesn't matter for the next, like think of first touch attribution as sort of like a protected window for them to get credit.
Mm.
So if the person's not ready to buy right away, they need at least 14 days to like make the decision and sign up. So those need to be first touch. And then there's other things that are just like really strong buyer intent. So like a coupon, paid ads for like branded keywords, etc. Like those should all be last touch,
Yeah.
organic traffic too, because like they don't need any support. Like that person's ready to buy at that point, so they're likely to get credit. So you should really be segmenting out some stuff first touch, some stuff last touch, so that you're making sure that you are giving the best chance of winning to the affiliates that you would love to have more of.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that.
So next up, I want to talk briefly about tracking links because I think it's cool and also it explains how we do stuff.
Yeah.
So in here, I am looking at a standard tracking link for that CPL offer we're talking about. I'm looking at the affiliate of top 5 reviews. So in here is a direct link. So the affiliate can actually send traffic to anywhere on the website. It doesn't really matter where, as long as like any place that the user reaches, it will start the click tracking process.
Yeah.
And realistically, all we need is this OID and FID.
Mm-hmm.
So OID is offer, OID 9 is offer 9, FID 11 is partner 11. So if we see these two things, it works like a UTM code where we will start tracking that user back to top 5 reviews. So this is standard click-based tracking. It's all first party, so there's no leakage. It's very compliant with the current method. So you start tracking the user that way with clicks. They go to your website, they check out your blog, etc. And then eventually they sign up for your newsletter, your webinar, like say an engagement event like that. Where we go from this click-based tracking is that we then go to email attribution, where we say this user, their email is this, and originally that user came from top 5 reviews. So any future activity like them purchasing, them signing up for a lead, etc., if we see that user's email, we are able to attribute it back to top 5 reviews. So this is where we have this ongoing source of truth. So after the cookie is long gone, if like 3 months later they come back and then they purchase, we know that that user's email originally came from this partner and we can actually attribute it back to it. So that's sort of like how we have this much fuller picture of the value coming from affiliate.
So I want to equate that because we've got a whole mix of people on this webinar with us now. We've got people from the iGaming industry, people from the e-commerce industry. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think you call this user state management, or what we would call lifetime value monitoring of a customer.
Oh, this one's just email attribution.
Just email attribution. So in your reports, when you pull the reports and you find, can you pull a report by customer email and then look at the value of that customer, or how does that work?
Yep, you could always just, obviously it's a fake account, so test account, so you can't type it in here. But actually, like we use Everflow for all of our own marketing. Okay. And so whenever I'm like, okay, what was the source of this? I can just type in their email and it's going to find the specific conversion that has all the details. And like one of the things that's great about Everflow is that most of the time you don't need to go deep. Yeah. But when you need to go deep, you can go so deep.
Great.
So you can actually like see this. And like if there was an original email tied here, you would be able to see the email and you can see all the details of like device, etc. Which again, not something you normally need, but when you're in that situation, like the person mentioned earlier, where like they're getting suspicious placements, be able to dive deep and be like, actually, like this placement looks completely questionable. I need to either automatically block it on my side, or I need to have a conversation with the partner about why this is happening.
Well, what's interesting to me here, and I look at a lot of platforms all the time, is in some industries that we work in, iGaming specifically, you can't even get the IP address. So you have to go to a BI internal team. So you're seeing something on the affiliate platform over here, and you have to go to your BI team and go, okay, I need a report. And sometimes it takes like a week to get that report. And only then you can match whether something is fraudulent or not. Whereas here, at the click of 3, literally 3 clicks, I can see everything I need to know about this customer or player. And I can start to look at similar attributes that would alert me to fraud, like similar IPs or IPs in a certain range or all of those types of things. So that's quite intuitive.
Cool. So next thing I'd like to show is just around like how do you catch or at least stop low quality traffic? Because like most times it's not actually fraud, but blended traffic is a very common thing. Or working with like a content subnetwork where some of the placements are using coupons. you just need the ability to sort of like go deep when you want and figure out like, okay, is everything normal? So I'm going to look at the top 5 reviews from earlier. So this is basically a real-time pivot table for anyone who's used spreadsheets, but I
Sure.
can just click on this. And now I'm filtering the data to just look at top 5 reviews. And you go down here, only look at the CPL offer that we were looking at earlier. So this is where I was talking about like a placements. So you can have your affiliates basically pass their placement IDs under anywhere from sub 1 to sub 5. These are placeholders where affiliates can pass anything. But I would always recommend having every affiliate always passing their placement IDs. Like any professional affiliate should know how to do this.
Yeah.
And this is enormously helpful. If you're doing like paid ads, this can show you the keywords so you can see your keyword performance. But basically, you can see the performance of how much traffic and how many conversions. So if I saw any of these with like 17 clicks and 10 conversions, there's something suspicious there. Again, time for a conversation or to deep dive to figure out like what were these conversions and do they look legit.
Yeah.
And you can look at things like device type,
Right.
city, all these things that sort of give you a bigger picture of like, is everything working properly?
It's very intuitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use this all the time, especially when we're launching like new ad campaigns and stuff like that, just because it's really easy in things like Google Ads to actually like get a lot of traffic from the wrong countries. So my ability to just look at traffic in terms of like where the clicks coming from and where the conversions coming from is enormously helpful to just sort of make quick decisions that are like what I should be doing.
So we're in the kind of like admin view of Everflow right now, but do affiliates have the same like visual data analysis that we have?
Yep.
I mean, a
So
lot of
all
affiliates struggle with that. You know, they're paid media affiliates and they just don't get the data that they need out of the affiliate platform that's being used because it's not set up for that. You know, it's set up for traditional revenue share or CPA. So it would be quite interesting. Sorry to deviate, but if anybody's here and looking at new tech, you know, this is what your affiliates would see. And that was part of the onboarding process bit that we asked our community. Like, how do we make our platform user-friendly and time sensitive to help affiliates, you know, get to where they need to be and do what they need to do?
Yeah, so every single partner has has their own login. As is, if you're managing multiple clients, each of those
Sure.
clients or advertisers have it. So they have their own dashboard. They have access to these similar reports. And on that specific thing, the other thing to keep in mind is that we have integrations with the paid media for your affiliates too.
Okay.
So the data that is tracked in the platform for your affiliate can actually send straight to their ad platforms. So it's really
Wow.
easy for them to get real-time data about like, hey, I spent $50,000 promoting you. How much revenue did I earn in the platform? And then that data goes straight back in their ad platform to auto optimize it. So that data going in that platform, like we run our own Google ad campaign. When we started doing this of passing our data into Google ads, we actually increased our quality leads by 91% year over year with like a small budget increase. And the reason for that is things like Google ads and Facebook, like they don't know who's a quality customer versus a low quality like lead. And so the more you can tell them, like, send me more of this and less of that, that actually massively improves your quality and that'll help your affiliates as well.
Okay. Good to know.
Cool. So, real quick, I'm not going to go too much in this. We do have a full marketplace. We have a different approach here, which is basically that our marketplace is really focused on just like a curated list of high quality partners in different promotion types and verticals, but we don't want to have like 10,000. We want to make sure all of these are very high value. And we're especially strong with emailers, media buyers, the sort of traditional affiliates that do not survive well on a large affiliate network because if
They
most
need
advertisers have a ton of coupon websites and they're not doing anything to protect their media buyers just can't be successful.
Yeah.
Um, but because we have a lot of different worlds, like that isn't an issue for us. And then finally, the last thing, just to go to sort of like saving time and automation. Someone asked earlier about the communication hub, and I think it's super cool. The UI team did an amazing job of upgrading this, but it's really easy to sort of communicate with all of your affiliates based on who you want to reach. So I set up a quick one, which is basically like, I want to email everyone who's drove at least 5 conversions for that CPL offer I was showing last month. So there's basically like, based on this rule of like 5 conversions, here are the 4 partners that would fit for that.
Yeah.
And then I want to email them out with like, okay, I want to send you out a new tracking link. So basically I can just have a template ready to go. The email subject line's here. It will only email those 4 partners that have over 5 conversions. And it's basically like, here's your offer that you can promote. So that way I'm like, if I have like a higher payout for affiliates that are already succeeding, I can just email all of those like top tier affiliates right away without having to think about it. So I can actually like really customize my communications towards active affiliates, inactive affiliates based on different rules, etc., to really save the amount of like time and effort I'm putting into this.
And that's actually half the battle won, because a lot of affiliates just do blanket campaigns once a month because they feel like they have to communicate with affiliates instead of actually looking at the partners that they really do need to communicate with, and like job tasking it like this. I want to talk to the affiliates that gave me CPL last month. Let's go and have a look and see if those offers are working. The reports are easy to get. You can have a look at the quality of their traffic, and then you can blast them an email and go, hey, here's this month's offer. Like, that's a 10-second job versus a 2-hour job, where you had to pull the data, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, create a CRM template in your, CRM tool or MailChimp or whatever you're using. And the two systems don't even align half the time. So yeah, loving that. I think that's a really great time saver. The only other thing that we didn't cover on our list was, the onboarding process for affiliates and payments. We were going to talk about payments as well. So we're at 50 minutes now. And if everybody wants to stay on and look at that, give me a thumbs up on YouTube and we'll cover it. But yeah, I think we've still got time. So are you keen to share that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do the very brief version. So as mentioned, like the onboarding is very easy. Like you can either just add them directly. So that's simple to do.
But what about the communication part? Can you use the CRM function to actually welcome them, give them a reminder, like everybody that signed up last month that hasn't gone active yet, is that all easy to do as well? Because that's a massive issue sometimes for affiliates, especially at scale.
Yep. So under Communication Hub, we now have an automated system email section. Okay. So you can basically set up like emails, customizing it for like, hey, I received it, I approved your email, let's get you started. So you have the ability to customize every single like automated communication so that the flow is consistent. So they can basically go through, we generate the traditional like sign up form, they can submit all their details in a sign up form. You can say, hey, we've received your application, now you're approved, here's your first tracking link, here's a recommended offer. So you have the ability to sort of like just save so much time with getting your new partners started, communicating with them the right way. And then, anything on that part?
Yeah, I think that's good. Half the SaaS tools that I look at don't have this integrated at all. So I think that's great. The other thing that we wanted to cover was payments, like, finance at the end of the month and how you can set the payments and run them. So maybe you can have a look at that as well.
Yep. So we have a native payment processing solution. So you can actually handle all of the payments within Everflow, like either directly through us or through one of the other account payable integrations. But I mean, our native payment solution keeps getting better and better. So there's a lot of additional benefits from it. But outside of that, basically each partner, we will automatically generate invoices based on however you set them up.
Yeah.
So for say like media buyers, like the other reason media buyers don't usually succeed is that they need to get paid like every 7 days. So you can basically be like, okay, I'm going to pay you weekly every Monday. I'm going to set whatever your payment method is. So that could be Everflow Pay, that could be something like PayPal, whatever they expect to receive. All of the like tax compliance, the KYC, all of the legal process, like that all is handled through our platform. So we will collect all of the legal details, tax details, and banking information, and then you can easily pay within the platform. And for anyone who's coming from a traditional affiliate network where they don't have someone who's used to paying out, we even have managed payments where we will process the payments on your behalf, so that you can replicate the affiliate network experience and just make it really easy to pay each partner with the terms that they expect on the time that they expect. You can even do things like on hold conversions where you're basically like, give us like, for half of it we'll pay you right away, for the other half like we need a month to review it because it's a more like offer that people can back out of. So you can actually like set up things where you're ensuring that they get paid on the guaranteed stuff, and for the stuff that needs time to validate, you pay them on the next month. So you have a lot of control over paying partners as quick as possible while still working for your business.
And I have to say that that's so important because it can make or break the relationship that you have with a partner. No business, no small business or no entrepreneur can sustain 30, 60 days. It is very, very difficult for them to scale their campaigns with you if you're not ensuring that they get paid as quickly as possible for the sales that they're making for you. And if you can try and do that weekly, even better. Like you'll just see that money be plowed back into your campaigns and into your portfolio again. So try and have a look at that. We've got time for one more question, and we've got a few here. So I'm going to just quickly go through the chat. There's one here from Anna. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us. She goes, hi, guys. It's Anna from Estonia, Estonia. I was wondering what do you think about hard KPIs? Paying for installs only when a certain percentage of in-app actions are reached, compared to add PO for in-app actions. Does that make sense to you, Michael?
Yeah, so I would say that with any affiliate program, I would always recommend starting with the easiest payment because, again, keep in mind, affiliates are taking on the risk, the time, the effort to promote you. So they need to test it fast. So for an app campaign, you want to be paying on the install to begin with.
Yeah.
And maybe with a cap budget, so you make sure you're not spending too much. But as you do want to track all those other events, and you might want to have additional payments on certain like later stage events. But as you see affiliates succeeding and driving those later stage events, you want to lower their install payment eventually to zero and pay them everything on that later stage event because they have the transparency to know it's working. They can see that they're making more money this way. You're taking on less risk and you can actually pay them way more because you're taking on less risk. So ultimately you move to those later stage events, but that is after the affiliate really trusts the offer and that you both know that this is going to be successful for them.
Yeah. So I hope that answered your question, Anna. Can we get back to our slide deck? Because I just want to wrap up, and thank you for giving us that demo. I mean, I think we covered all 7 points, which is a miracle because we only had 45 minutes, and we're grateful that everybody is stuck on for almost an hour now. But I wanted to just do a quick recap of everything too. And just make sure that everybody understands, what some of the common problems were, how you can overcome some of these problems. For me, the biggest takeaway today is the events. Like if you've got the functionality within your platform to set up all of these different events and incentivize affiliates across the entire buyer journey, I think you're already leaps and bounds ahead of 60% of all of the other programs that are happening in the industry. If you've got the payment options sorted to actually kind of make that money flow happen a little bit faster, you're already quids in. Like a lot of the programs that we're still managing and seeing in the open marketplace today are working on 30, 60, 90 days to validate sales. So guys, if you've got any questions, head on over to the YouTube. We've got 5 more minutes. We'll stick around. But you can get over these common affiliate obstacles that we've shared with you today by making sure that your tech stack is set up and geared to help you with these things, to give you the insights that you need. So choose the right software. Like it's really simple. Choose the right software for the program that you're trying to run. Set your goals and define what those goals are that you want to actually record and monitor and incentivize on, and automate what your platform can do for you to save time. So set up those automated emails, hyper personalize them, put the tracking links in for your affiliates. These are like basic things that I think sometimes we forget about because we're trying to do the cool, innovative stuff. But actually, if you think about it, a good solid affiliate program, and you mentioned some of those numbers, just communicating with affiliates and giving them all the creatives that they need and making it easy for them to find 1100% return. Like it's crazy that you actually had a case study like that. So Michael, It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on this on this webinar, not this podcast, but it could be a podcast too if we wanted. To everybody that's stuck around, thank you so much for putting the questions in the chat. I hope that you've enjoyed this webinar as much as what I have. There is a very cool white paper that you can download, which is 7 Steps to a Better Affiliate Program. You can take that on the QR screen right now. But best of all, if you want to test this, Michael is giving away a free trial of Everflow. I think it's 14 days, where you can actually upload some data, put a few partners in there, see how that works for you. Scan the QR code to get in contact with Michael. His email's up on the screen as well. It's been a real pleasure to have you on this podcast, on this webinar, and actually have a closer look at what's happening behind the scenes at Everflow. So I really want to thank you for being here. If anybody's got any questions, you've got another minute to pop them into that chat, but then otherwise Michael and I are going to head out for the rest of our afternoon. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and thank you to Everflow for opening up the doors and showing us what could be possible with our affiliate programs.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Also, if you're sticking around, don't forget, we've got our Elevate Summit coming up on the 16th and 17th of September. So get your tickets, come and join us. You'll actually be able to meet some of the Everflow team there because they are kindly sponsoring this event with us. We've got Meta, TikTok for Business, Google, some of the biggest lead generators in the EU, some massive affiliates that are coming to this event as well. So come along and join us. We've got some great speakers, some great people to meet in the room. There's still tickets available. You'll be sorry when you don't get it. So hurry up and book and join us now. Some of the speakers you can see up on your screen. But that's it for today's webinar. If we don't have any more questions, it has been a pleasure to host you here and to be here with you for the last hour. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us. And I hope that you've enjoyed this as much as I have.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.